How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to the Cosmic Ray channel. I'm your host, Cosmic Ray. So I've had this particular download going on for quite some time, and I know I've touched up a little bit on this in previous videos, but I never really necessarily did a specific video on this. And I know this type of download has been going to some other YouTubers, in this collective consciousness, which I'm sure you've probably seen something about my last video in regards to that. However, as if like a lot of us are getting these same type of downloads or thoughts or these things that's just kind of just going out there, and we all have like different takes on it and what we're receiving, and we're somewhat almost, all of us are somewhat collectively right, if you want to say it. But regards to this topic of water, and of course water is, what a lot of people feel and just kind of real is if like it's life. Water, we feel like when we're talking about go to other planets or whatever it is, if there's water, then there's sustainable life, and that's like the start of life, to have water with creation. And in my video, I just want to talk about other things with water as well. Besides that, utilizing elements of this of Gaia, of this world, of just be able to transmute some energies, with water as well. Now, I as you know, when I do my videos, I don't, I kind of just hit record and all of a sudden just something just happens and I start talking. So my apologies for not, I guess I should be Googling some other names and whatnot. But there has been, in the past, there's been some Japanese scientists who've taken water and freeze it, to a molecular level, to its like iced form, to its like crystal, if you will. And they've taken water and put it into different rooms and had, I guess, different kinds of energy, around it, like people that are angry and like just saying certain things, and people talking to water saying with love, a kind of thing, and in different rooms having just different type of things. Now, if you're on face value, you're like, okay, well, it's just water. It's not doing anything. It's just water. Like, well, how is that going to affect anything? F that, right? um, well, what happens like when they crystallized it, to the molecular form, and how you see, when people draw, when they have the snow and they draw, like ice crystals and snowflakes, they make it look like these little shapes, and some of them have different type of, anyways. So when they showed that and they zoomed into the camera, you can see it has different forms. Now it should all look the same besides like temperature wise and whatnot. From the most part, everything was the same. The only thing that was different in every room was the fact that it was speaking, and also the energy around it was like negative, like angry, and then one of them was like happy and one was like love. And you could see each time when they showed this, the crystallized versions of these waters were completely different. Like the one with love looked very beautiful. And you can definitely Google this. So definitely take a look at those, because you actually can see what they look like. So it's really nice and really beautiful. And it was one of those things where you're like, what the F is going on? Like, what is this guy talking about? When you see it, you're just like, what? Like, no way. Like, this can't be real. No. But it is. Now, for me, and I have done this thing where you can't really see it too much because I'm always covering it. But usually, for the most part, I have water, in a glass jar, and it's usually near my selenite lamp. Now, at first, people who know anything about crystals with selenite, you don't want to have with water or too much moisture, in the air, because it kind of disintegrates it and messes up the selenite, lamp, or I mean, even like the crystal or like the wands and whatnot. Um, so I know it's kind of contradictory in a sense to have water near it, but obviously it's it's in a glass jar. I always feel that helps purify it in a sense. And I usually have, and I do have cold drinking water also, but for the most part, I don't know if you never kind of research this stuff. Humans are really supposed to be drinking like just room temperature water. And I know you can drink whatever you want. If you really want to drink hot water, you could. Obviously, no one's going to, right? No one's going to drink boiling water. um, you know, but in a sense, it's like you can drink whatever water you want. Of course, you can drink cold water when it's hot. If you're in California or in some other place that's extremely hot at times, yes, drinking cold water does kind of help a little bit with the taste buds. However, when you do drink that cold water, you can feel it come down your throat, and it does sometimes do something different to you. It kind of makes you feel like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't drink so much and so fast, with this cold water. And You can get adverse reactions. However, there's other people, other humans in the other parts of the world who value water a little differently than you or I. And there's, I think I've heard Sadhguru talk about this, where he talks about usually water should only have, like, I think he says like two or three bends, and what that means is like through the piping. So when it hits like past like two three bends of water, it's not good for you. And so what happens that you have to leave like your water out. Now a lot of people have done, and I obviously, I'm not in around that culture specifically, so I only know from my culture or people who I know who are part of that culture what they have done, but I can't speak to everyone that that's in that area. What I've known is that when you have water, even if it's cold water, you leave water out. And you can actually, I'm sure you've seen other people do this, where if they have like those like filtered type plastic bottle or BPA or free, type plastic looking type bottles or glass, containers that have, you can put like even like quartz rocks or whatever in there and put water in it. Um, but for me, I just actually leave water out, and you can actually speak to water to, in a sense, transmute this, into your life. You can actually do this with other things, with food and other instances, or setting intentions. And I know it may seem like a lot of work, but if you really think about it, not I don't want to say that you're not appreciative of the things in life, because I can't say that, obviously. But for me, I notice there is a slight little bit more value when I do something like that. When I have the water and I leave it out, and when I do have a chance to drink it, I even use this, even with my prayers, when I do like either like other chantings and other things where, I harness my own energy into the water with positive vibrations, positive love intentions. And I speak to water, right? Even when I pour the cold water into the normal jar, I'll even say, water, thank you so much, being the bringer of life. Thank you so much for help giving me nutrition and helping replenish, my vitality, my energy, my life, my will to live. Obviously, we can, live more without, food than we can water, for, many reasons. And of course, most of our bodies made up of water. Most of the, planet, for Gaia is water, and the whole thing. So, with water, it's being so scarce, and to be able to appreciate water more so than you normally would. Obviously, this is part of like kind of my being grateful for life, being grateful for love, being grateful for just being here. It's not an easy task being on, this planet and being this reality. It's, so just being grateful in itself. You just live life, and as a baby you grow up and you're just living and you're just doing whatever, because that's just what you always been doing. And then when you start to take in this path of a spiritual world, if you will, and road of life, walking alone in a sense on this path, or like you feel like it, right? You start to learn other things, start to learn other like abilities, learn other things that can help transmute your energy and other people's energy, and just you start to feel this oneness with Gaia, Mother Earth, feel this oneness of this planet, and you just be grateful for things. And with water, the same thing. So it's like, I thank the water for just being there. Obviously, I'm the one pouring the water, of course, obviously, so it's not like I'm, all right, thank you for pouring yourself some water. No, nothing like that. But it's just more of, water, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. Water, you're so beautiful. I love the sound when it hits the glass. I love the sound that you make. I love it when you build it, when I drink you, and it's been a long time since I had water. It just feels so good. It's like when you start to change your diet and you start eating a little bit more vegetables than you normally have. Not necessarily you have to be a vegetarian or vegan, but just like when you start to change a little bit more, you start to appreciate, nature and stuff. And like vegetables, it's like when you start eating fresh vegetables and you're like, oh man, it just tastes so good once it hits your lips. Oh, it tastes so good in your mouth. So it's just one of those things where it's like just make those noises that you don't normally make when other people are around. So same thing with water. I speak to water. I give it some gratitude, some appreciation, some thanking. Say thank you so much, water. So beautiful. Thank you so much for just giving me this energy. Thank you so much. You know what? I feel like I want to do that right now. Sorry. Water, thank you so much for being beautiful. Thank you so much for me being able to show appreciation for you into you, because when I pour you in the glass and I leave you out for like a day or so, I know that I try not to have negative energy around you, because I know once you come inside me, in a sense, that's gonna be a part of me. I'm gonna be a part of you as you're gonna be a part of me, and then from there, you know, you're gonna give me the nutrients I'm gonna need to survive and to be alive, so I can keep on keeping on, so I can still keep doing what I need to do to survive, everything I need to do, in this lifetime, to help me. So, water, thank you so much for being beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo! And you do a lot of other things with water. Just want to keep this video a little bit short. And there's other things you can search about water and being appreciative towards other things. You can do this with food. You can do this, some people have, I think I said this before, some people say grace, in a sense. And some people don't have to necessarily have to like thank a god or anything like that, but just, thank just the moment. When you have like Thanksgiving, just appreciate, the moment, appreciate what's around, appreciate how the food was there, like the water. I appreciate how the water came to me, I appreciate how it was done. Now, also too, I'm gonna just rewind really quick. I know I try to keep this short, but because I said this before, but just in case you've never seen those other videos, um, with bottled water. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole, plastics and destroying the earth. Whoops, I did. But regards to that, so say like, because I do have like some plastics, once in a while, and with waters, you have to keep in mind when that gets transferred, from one place to the other. I hate to say this, not to get all weird on you guys, but those energies that people lift the water and carry that into the trucks from whatever it is, from point A to by the time you get it, that can be transferred to so many different people, so many different types of energy, so many types of everything. That's why sometimes people say when they die and say it's like a certain item, and you that they had in their house, and like say they sell, and someone in their family sells the item, they're like, oh, this belonged to a dead person. You're like, ooh. People get those weird vibes, right? Kind of feeling, it's because of that. And the same thing with water. It's like when someone touches something, or it could already have that impression upon it, that negative energy or whatever it is. So even when people have water and they carry it and they bring it over to you, by the time it gets to you, it's been touched by so many different people. So I feel that's like, when you have water, you leave it out to kind of like just let it just chill. You give it the good intentions, you set those good intentions, you set the good vibes, you give it the love, you give it the whatever good energy, the just whatever, right? And you put that in, you put that positivity into the water, and then you drink it and you appreciate it, and you're like, oh, it just changes up things so much in life. And it's not one of those like, oh, look at me, I'm more appreciative of water. Nothing to that point. It's just more of when you start to doing those things, and you start to set those up, and you start getting just a little bit of spiritualness, spirituality in your life, you start to appreciate the other things of life. I've seen some synchronistic moment of like about life. It's just appreciate the fine details. Just appreciate the fine details of life. And with water being so beautiful and scarce in some other countries, and that people have good drinking water, I know every single day I've had good drinking water, and I'm not going to talk about like, oh, my pH level is this and I drink this. That's cool. If you can know how to do all that stuff and you can get it that way, that's perfect. So I'm sure you're supposed to drink a certain kind of pH level for water and whatnot. But for me, old school style, you just take water out of the faucet, or you maybe get one of those little water, purifier things, that's good too, and if you're old school or you sometimes drink it from the sink, back in the day, I always leave it out, because it has some lead in it for, now you want to go into that, with fluoride and all that stuff, right? Um, anyways, so just know, because sometimes things could calcify your, pineal gland. So just anyways, sorry, I don't want to get off tangent there, or sidetracked. So when you start to appreciate things, appreciate water, appreciate even food, transmute that energy, into the food, give it that love, it will give you the love back. It'll give you the energy you need back. I even dealt with food that's not really food. Sometimes that actually kind of works too, depending how good your intentions are that you set, and how good that you appreciate that food too, and how peeling back of how much appreciative, like how that food got to in front of you, in a sense, and how the water for me gets in front of me. to let it sit there, to take away all the other negative energy, and then me putting into that positivity into the water, and then drinking the water. Anyways, cosmic surfers, water. No. Anyways, hope you have a lovely time drinking water from here on out, and get thirsty. All right, Oyasumi. Good night, cosmic surfers.